thank you always for your time. Without wasting much time, in today's video, we are going to look at Daniel's spiritual awareness. Yes, you have heard me well. Daniel's spiritual awareness. During the time of a certain king, in the olden days, this king had a very terrible dream. So David and his friends were faced with a peculiar problem. There was a king who had a dream, and this dream troubled him so much. Why did the dream trouble him? Because he didn't understand what the dream means, nor could he interpret the dream. So he assembled in his kingdom, he assembled a group of magicians, sorcerers, and told them and asked them that he had a dream, and he wanted them to tell him what was the dream all about and for them to interpret the dream. So this group of sorcerers and magicians, they had no clue about the dream. So the king threatened them that if they are not able to interpret this dream to him, he will kill them. So there was this panic among those magicians and the sorcerers. Now there was another group of people, that is Daniel and his 3 friends. Daniel and his 3 friends did not fall for that trap of ignorance. They knew that they know there is a God who reveals secret things, and the God who is full of wisdom and knowledge. So what did Daniel and his friends do? They waited until midnight and they went into prayers, asking God to reveal to them the dream which the king had, and for God to help them to interpret the dream that the king had. And God, as he is always faithful and he's always acting upon his word, ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, God answered and revealed to Daniel and his friends the dream which the king had. Not only did God reveal the dream, he also interpreted the dream. So Daniel had the interpretation of the dream, and they went and they told the king the dream he had and the meaning of the dream. So now that is the power of not being ignorant. Daniel's advanced spiritual knowledge made him to understand that God is the only one they could turn to at that time. Even today, God, Daniel, they knew that it's only God who could reveal this secret, the dream that the king had and the meaning, the interpretation of the dream. And God did just that. So, people of God, let us not be ignorant. You see these 3, this magician and the sorcerers, just because of their level of ignorance, they almost lost their life. Because remember, the king threatened to kill them if they don't interpret the dream. So ignorance can cost us so much in our lives. Remember the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 8. The word of God says, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. When you don't have knowledge, you are vulnerable to Satan's attack. You are vulnerable to the wicked spiritual activities that are taking place in this present wicked world. That's why let us try to reach this level of Daniel's advanced spiritual knowledge. When you are equipped with the truth, when you are equipped with knowledge, ignorance will be very far from you. And even if the devil tries to manipulate your life, you are awake spiritually. You will be able to see these things in the spiritual realm, and you will know how to counterattack all this spiritual manipulation in the spiritual realm against our life. We are living in a very, very wicked spiritual world. As we also always say in this channel, before something happens to you in the physical, it has already been orchestrated. It has already been planned out. The plan of action has already been drawn in the spiritual realm. It's a matter of time before it happens, before it manifests in a person's life. So let us try to reach this level of spiritual advance like Daniel. And we will be able to fight back. Remember, we are soldiers of Christ. Life is not laid out on us on a silver platter. No. We have to live life as soldiers of Christ. There is still a spiritual battle that is being fought. And that spiritual battle that is fought determines circumstances of our lives here on earth. So let us be soldiers of Christ so that we can fight spiritually against the evil manipulator, against the evil forces, Satan and his wicked army of demons, so that we can stand on our ground and fight back. God is on our side, just as he did to Daniel by revealing this dream to Daniel, interpreting dream to Daniel with his friends. He can still do it for us today. The word of God tells us that the word of God himself is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What God was doing in those days of Daniel and others, he is still doing today, because he is the same God. He never changes. So, children of God, let us be aware spiritually. Thank you so very much for your time. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Help me grow this channel to the glory of God, Emmanuel.